I almost
David
didn't put it on, Josh. Like oh, look, it's even flipped up. Went for breakfast with Jess, or lunch with Jess today because of all the things that have been going on, and I had my t-shirt on, and I went to sit down to click your link. I'm like, oh, I actually had clicked the link to join up with the meeting, and before it went through, I'm like, oh, I better go put the new shirt on. I got it unpacked out of the bag yesterday and hung it up, so at least it would get the creases out of it.
Oh yeah, I washed mine, so it's all nice and I washed it, so now it feels all nice.
Yeah, I don't wash mine. I mean, I do when they get stinky, but all the ones that I save for doing the podcast or videos and things like that, they've never been worn on site. They don't go anywhere where they're ever going to get dirty.
Yeah,
But
so
you
they
see,
look all nice.
Trademark's got a bit of a marketing thing going on at the moment. I've seen a big sign somewhere on the way home at Sunnybank, I think it was, and I'm not sure if it looked like it was in cahoots with Bailey Garage, who did the Amarok, the old Cladding,
Gladiator,
whatever you call it. Yeah. So it's been a few weeks.
Yeah, it's been a few weeks since we recorded one of these, so we're gonna crack on into it because I've got places to be, you've got places to be.
Yeah, and I don't have headphones on. What was that, mate?
You've got Spartan on this weekend, and I've just got appointments. So,
yeah, I've been listening to Joe Rogan though, so that's as research to try and be better at being a podcaster.
He's the best, mate. He's the best at this.
Yeah,
$1,000. He's doing something right.
I think the problem is that I listen to the ones with like Paulie Shaw, so they're just swearing and carrying on, and it's good fun. I enjoy it. But the conversation of it all is really good, and they can talk about people know and all the rest. So I mean, like we can start by talking about people know. So Scotty Cam, champion.
We personally, but we know of him.
That's all I had for that. So.
Good times.
That's where we go with it.
Yeah. So today we're going to have a chat about something that we've done a couple of times, which is we've been engaged by homeowners, or I guess they're going to be a homeowner to do the roofing or the cladding because their builder wasn't confident in delivering on that, or didn't have a contractor that they were aware of that could, or that they regularly use to do standing seam cladding, for example.
So that's a good point. We're talking about that, and builders doing what they're good at, I guess, is probably a starting point. So, for example, builders will use the trades that they have. And so when someone comes to them with something that's a bit outside of the ordinary, the builders that are quoting that job are going to do that job. They're going to go to their regular bricky, electrician, roofer, etc., to do that. They're generally not going to go take a risk on something which is outside of the ordinary with someone that they've never worked with before. So, like Heisig, for example, they just won House of the Year between, what is it, 1 and 2 million.
Yeah, I think that was what it was.
HIA House of the Year. So they won that house, and I'd like to be arrogant about it and say they wouldn't have won it if we didn't do the roof on it. I'd like to say that because I feel that if they'd gone, let's take this story back from this award-winning home. Firstly, the clients are awesome. The people, the owners were awesome. Heisig Constructions, they'd engaged them to build the house. The builder came back and said the owner wanted a standing seam roof, and it was a non-negotiable. They wanted a standing seam roof. So the builder said, no, our normal roofer we use recommends we use trim deck. They're not confident in delivering what you're looking for and doing a good job of it. and a lot of in that situation, a lot of clients or a lot of people will be like, oh, okay, well, look, if it's really that hard, well, let's just go with what you
let's go.
recommend.
Yeah.
Whereas clients that really want to deliver or have delivered the house that they really want, the house of their dreams, they want to construct the art, they end up, well, in this scenario, they ended up searching for us. So the builder couldn't come up with anyone. They couldn't find anyone, or they didn't look for anyone that could do it that they could trust. So in this situation, the homeowner said, hey, if we find someone, can we find someone for you? And so what ended up happening is we were engaged directly by the homeowner. The homeowner actually drove around to another one of our jobs, asked the owner of that house, who did your cladding and your roofing. They gave them our details, and then we were engaged, and we actually worked for the homeowner opposed to working for the builder, and we worked alongside the builder to deliver the product. And in the end, that particular project wins HIA Home of the Year between $1 and $2 million. And like I said before, let's go back to the arrogance of me saying that they wouldn't have won that if it had a trim deck roof on it.
No, it wouldn't have given that same sort of show-stopping finish that it does have now.
Well, yeah, everyone that drives down that driveway just goes, wow.
Yeah.
And it's a beautiful house without the roof, but the roof on it just makes you just go, oh, this is something special. Like my wife and she came down with me one day and we went down, and she goes, when are we moving in? So it's just that. That's just the story of what we're talking about, Josh. So
yeah. Engaging. If your builders can't give you exactly what you want, or they're unable to find a contractor that can, don't be scared to go and find the contractor that you've got faith in that can actually deliver what you're looking for. Like the builder very much will be able to deliver on the home that you want. But if there's, like we said, that standing seam cladding is that non-negotiable item. So go and find someone that's going to do it. Hey, chicken.
Hello.
Sick kids at home. Great fun.
Oh, hello. Hey, Addie. Very good. Very good. She'd be intrigued. She's in a world of podcasts now.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. So you go and you find the contractor that can deliver that item, and then talk with your builder and go, hey, I've found this person that can deliver on it. Either I can get them to contact you, or they can just do that particular item directly for me and liaise with you about the timings and whatever when things are done.
So we've done both in that situation from a cladding perspective. And that's where we're going to talk mostly, is basically from our perspective of roofing and cladding. Whereas we have gone in and it's been removed outside of the contract for the builder, and so the builder has nothing to do with it. Or it's actually come in and it works under the builder, and so the whole lot has gone through under the builder. So we quote the builder puts their margin on it, and it goes through there. It's just we are found by the client, I guess. And that's builders. If you've got a builder that won't let that happen, especially on a like if the builder says I want to use my team because I'm really confident in that, then it's at that point you go, okay, that's cool. Can you get your team? Can I see the evidence of the work that you've done like that previously? I'd like to see that. I want to know that your team can do that.
Well, like we had that job that I went and had a look at out at Buzz Scrub, where the builder's like, we've got it covered, don't worry about it. And then she's gone,
go back at the start of that. Tell that story, because I think that there is the horror story versus the hero story which we had before.
Yeah, so she had said to me, and I think we covered a bit off of it in a previous podcast, but she had said to me, like, she had originally seen us online, and wanted to use was considering using us, but then the builder had said to her, no, we've got someone to take care of the cladding, we're confident that they'll be able to do it. And so come full circle down to when they've built the home, all of the cladding is just not done to the proper standard. Like all the flashings have either not joined correctly, or there's water ponding on the windows, or there's the sarking was over the battens instead of against the wall frame. All these things just didn't bring the finish that the client was after. And so she then called us up and got us to have a look at it, and we submitted a price for her. So it's just waiting on QBCC to do the fix.
She's all right. She's having fun. It's entertaining.
Don't want her to break the wall.
Yeah, well, that's a fair point. I think that's an interesting point. So if you look for red flags, so in what we do, we're always looking for red flags. And when one red flag goes up, you just hang out for that next red flag. And I think for people that are building their first home, especially someone who's building it, not their first home, but constructing up. They're building the house that they want to be in for the X number of years. They're wanting to design something, and they have non-negotiables. Now let's get the script on that non-negotiable thing in a second. But when you have non-negotiables like cladding, things which are not in your normal build, then if the builder comes back and says, "Oh yeah, we've got it sorted. Yeah, we've got a good team. We can do it," and you say, "Well, who could you tell me who that is? And can I get some references, like of those people? Can we see previous work of theirs?" Because you need to know that. Now, at that point, the builder should be able to say, "Not a problem. I'll put you in contact. This is the roofing company that we use, and they're very experienced, right? And you can liaise with them, or however that builder would like to do it." So the red flag goes up when the builder says, "No, we're good. We've got this all sorted. We've got it covered," and they just, "No, don't worry about it. I've got it. Don't worry about it. We're all sorted. Have faith in us. Have confidence in us. We will be able to deliver it for you." So someone that can say to that, a builder or anyone that says, "Just have faith in us, have confidence in us. Well, we can do it. We can deliver it. We're good. We know what we're talking about," without showing any evidence that builds trust, that you can trust them, then that's a big red flag, and you shouldn't be going to contract with that person. You should be holding back, because from our experience, Josh, in the customers, and there's more than what's on my two hands of customers that have gone out and put architectural cladding on their house, and the builder has said to them, "We've got this sorted, we're fine," and it has been a nightmare. It's just too often. The red flag needed to come up right at the start, or you need to go, "Well, let's not do that. Let's take it out of the contract and find it for ourselves." So the non-negotiable, talking about what is a non-negotiable.
Yeah, like I want Caesar stone bench tops. I want standing seam wall cladding. I want polished concrete floors.
Yeah.
If your builder doesn't know of someone who can do that, go out and find them and put them onto your builder, or get your builder to remove that particular item from the contract, and you'll manage that section so that you can get exactly what you're after. Don't settle for, it's all right. Like, it's what you want. It's what your dream home is. Yeah, you want to construct that piece of art that you're going to live in for the rest of your life. Don't, unless it's outside of your budget, don't settle for someone to tell you that, "Oh, it can't be done."
Yeah. So kind of like an architect, you have architecturally designed homes, and we're predominantly working on architect designed homes opposed to custom design, or should I say project homes. And the architect has a vision of what they're trying to achieve. So the architect, when it goes to the client, generally will go to particular builders, say, "Look, we recommend this builder, and this builder, because they have a track record of doing this design, my work, for us in the past." They generally don't go and say, "Here, try this rando over here. I don't know if they can do it or not. So they're not going to lead you in that direction. However, when you're taking your ideas to a builder or a custom design builder, now let's use Bluebird Design Construct as an example. Okay. Now, if you go as a client, you see them, they can do the whole lot from that you take them. This is my block of land. This is the house that I have, and I want to renovate. They'll do the whole design from a new build to what have you. They'll also build architecturally designed homes. So, but they can design it for you. Now, if you go in there and say, we want this. These are the things that a client wants, and in doing that, they'll design something that they can actually build. They won't go outside of what their capabilities are. And in talking to Jeremy the other day from Bluebird, I was saying how we're finishing up a really nice job, the one down at Bulimba, and he said, "Oh, gee, it would be so nice to get a customer that's got a budget for standing seam cladding." I said, well, you already do have the budget for it, but you have to design it with that. And then you've got to take away from others, depending on what their budget is. I said, we work with customers that they have a non-negotiable, and the non-negotiable is the standing seam cladding. So we tend to get that where people are willing to, what was it? People said they'll wait another 5 years and save up for it to get what they really, really want. So I just said to him, see, mate, the good thing is when you finally do, you'll know someone that can do it. As a builder, that's a bonus. So the non-negotiables, if you get someone to design your house and build your house, and so Bluebird will turn around and if they didn't know us and they had a roofer, say they used Joe Blogg's roofing, which specialized in metal fascia, metal gutter, normal roof battens, 5 hip, 1 valley roof, and that's what they did, and that's what Bluebird built. Then if they went and took that, they designed a house that had all this architectural cladding on it and took it to them, and they wouldn't be able to quote it. So why would Bluebird offer that as an option if they didn't have someone that could do it?
Well, yeah. Pretty much.
So I guess I just went off on a tangent because I was just talking.
Yeah, well, it's like that was the whole sort of the whole sort of idea behind us doing this podcast in the first place, is to try and help educate everyone that the options are out there. Yeah, it does. We do kind of promote ourselves a bit on here because we're showing that we're subject matter experts, but there are others out there. You just got to find them.
Oh, you mean people that do cladding?
Yeah,
100%. So here's an interesting one. So a guy, a customer, potential client, went and saw him yesterday out at Redland Bay, and he'd been chasing up Stratco to find someone to come out to give him a quote for architectural cladding. And Stratco put him onto us, and then we went out there and saw him. He said he'd spoken to a few other people that had come out there, but after those other people, he didn't say anything about those people. However, at the end of the conversation that we had, he felt, you could tell at first he was very not at ease with the whole situation. He was like, how do we do this? And how does this happen? And how does this happen? And my concerns are this, this, and this. And so, because this is what we do facelifts is an everyday type of a thing for us, and making sure that people's houses don't leak on the walls, roofs and walls. So I went through everything. I said, this is how we do the windows. This is what we would do here. And this is what we do here. He basically, in his reactions to everything, kind of let me know that the other two guys that had been out there weren't experts in what was going on. And I sort of gathered that. And at the end of that, he was like, oh, when can you get the quote for us? So we're definitely going to go ahead with it. It'll all depend on which one's going to work with the budget. So he was looking for someone who was going to be able to deliver on his non-negotiable.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's just building that confidence up in clients to, like, the more you do it, the more confident you're going to get.
Yeah.
So,
Well, Josh,
So-
if you're building, okay, you're going to be building a home soon in the future. Cross our fingers, touch the wood, let's do it.
Yeah.
And there's going to be some certain things in there that you want to make sure are the way that they are, whether it being extra PowerPoints or a Caesar stone bench top or whatever it may be. And if you are going to be getting, for example, Simmons Homes were going to build your house for you, and they turned around and said, "Oh, look, we can't do this, we can't do this, we can't do this." But you basically were like, "But these are the most important parts of my build." You're just going to walk away from them because your most important parts, if someone can't deliver on that, then what's the point in going with them other than they would be the cheapest? And that's going to send alarm bells in itself, is it not?
Yeah, pretty much. From my experience working in the industry, it's kind of a big alarm bell if you're going for the cheapest. Just always going for the cheapest price is not going to necessarily give you the best outcome.
Yeah. So here's an interesting one. I was just talking to a builder this morning about how he's having an absolute arse of a day. He's having a terrible day on a particular job that we work with him on. And they said, he turned around and said he had some plumbers that were working on the job and he sacked them partway through the job. And he had to pay someone else to come in and do the fit off and get another plumber involved. And they connected it, they commissioned the water's going, there's a leak under the slab, there's things just wrong all over the place. And he said, he goes, I shouldn't have taken a risk on using a new trade on such an important job. So,
well, yeah, if the only reason you're taking the risk on someone new is because they're cheap,
yeah,
again, that's
yeah,
it's silly, as we discovered when with London Road, like you took the risk with your quote unquote regular roofer, who is $30,000 cheaper than the team that do it every single day.
yeah. Well, there's another, yeah.
So what are you going to do? You can't. Obviously, they were very, very good salesmen, and the extra savings on the cost of it all kind of helped get that across the line.
You could pay for that bison that went above the fireplace that cost $17,000.
Yeah, at the end of the day, you still had to get the team that you knew could do the job to come back and fix the problem. So
that's exactly it. So the non-negotiable on London Road was the roof. The roof needed to be the 465 standing seam. And here's the builder. The builder was like, no, these guys are good. These guys are good. These guys, we back them. We use them all the time. These guys are good. And the builder, the evidence that they had on doing the work, they had two jobs. The owner did go down the line of saying, have they got proof? And they showed them a couple of jobs, which really didn't, I've seen the photos of them, which really didn't emphasize anything. However, it did give some level of trust to the homeowner. Like, oh, okay, well, they have done it. Let's roll the dice. It's still rolling the dice.
Yeah. At the same time, though, like it's a wall. It was wall cladding, wasn't it? No.
It was roofing. No? But one was a 2-degree pitch commercial roof that no one could see from the ground, and the other one was a light coloured one that really didn't matter. It was sort of like the side of an industrial thing. So none of them were architectural homes. Yeah. So
commercials. I think I said this last time. Like commercial is completely different to residential. I think in the roofers versus cladders podcast, just because you can do industrial cladding or commercial cladding doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to be the exact same process on a high caliber residential architectural home.
Yeah. Well, that's the hard thing. So with cladding, I mean, cladding is when you come to a house, you have frame. What is it going to be, a steel frame or a timber frame? Most builders are going to be fine doing either, right? If you really want a steel frame, the builder will build a steel frame. It's probably easier for them anyway. It's lighter, it's fast to put up. It's just not the old-fashioned way of doing things. There's a concrete block. There's a cement. You can have cement floors. You can have cement floating floors. There's certain things that you can do and you can't do. There's not too many non-negotiable things, but where they are, they make up a huge. Hence, go back to the HIA award-winning home that we're talking about. It made the difference, in my opinion, between winning it or not winning it, with the overall look of the house. And I'd like to use one example. When we built this house that I live in now, we asked the builder if we could do polished concrete. We wanted polished concrete, and he said, "No, it'll be too hard to do. It's really difficult. And we took his advice, and we learnt from that. So we learnt that we should have gone to a different builder at the point where that was the case. However, there was enough other things along the way that sort of ticked the box that it was good. We wish we'd done the polished concrete through the whole house. We ended up doing it in a courtyard where I polished it myself, and it's absolutely amazing. So easy to clean. It's beautiful. It's so smooth. It's so nice. So it's like, well, if we're building again, we're going to go to the polished concrete. But in the end, we've got a tile which kind of looks like that. Now, the other thing I was going to do, across the road, my neighbors, when they built their house, they put a stone wall out the front. And they went with, this is the second time they'd built with their builder. So they had faith in the builder. They had the stone wall going up out the front, the feature stone wall. And that feature stone wall had to get ripped down, because they came in after it had been built halfway, and the owner said, no, that's not on. That looks rubbish. It needs to be done better. And so they waited and waited, and it was on the client. They waited and waited till the builder could find another stonemason to be able to do it the way that they wanted to do it. Yeah. But that's a very, very important thing, that's been done in the way that they wanted it to be done, rather than slapped around. So, on your non-negotiables, being like, as roofers and cladders, if you're the end client, you've engaged MyCladders, we would expect that you would go, I'm not happy with that. What's going on with it? Ask the questions. Oh, what's happening with this? What's happening with that? You're paying a lot of money to get our service and the expertise of what we do. And if there's something that you're not happy with, we're happy to learn from that to improve it for you and make it better for our future customers. So
yeah, we're all about as I think we've said multiple times, our whole thing is ensuring that the end client gets the result that they're after. It's their piece of art that they're going to live in forever, and that's what they want. So we're going to give them something that they will be proud of.
Yeah, exactly. That's what we do. You've got to go and do your things now, eh? I like you.
I do. I've got things to do. You've got
things to do.
You've got to do. And I think we've only got 1 minute left before this cuts out anyway.
That's 5. We've got 5 minutes left, but you have to leave because you've got to pick up your girls from school and
all that fun stuff. Yeah, shush. All right. With that, we'll catch you next time, folks.
Yep. Hope you learned something. See ya.
Cheers. All right.